Welcome back, Madridistas. Big news coming out of the Santiago Bernabéu today. From Florentino Perez's plans to extend Antonio Rüdiger's contract, to Real Madrid's long-term interest in Bundesliga star Angelo Stiller, and even new updates on Rodrygo's future with Manchester City and PSG watching closely, we've got it all covered. Plus, Aurelien Tchouameni speaks out about Xabi Alonso and his new role at Madrid. Stay tuned because there's a lot to unpack. According to a report from Real Madrid Confidential, President Florentino Perez is considering renewing Antonio Rüdiger's contract. While the German defender has lost his status as an irreplaceable starter, he remains a key player for the club and is expected to see regular playing time throughout the 2025-26 season. Notably, it must be remembered that Real Madrid are also exploring other centre-back options. The club has shown interest in Liverpool's Ibrahima Konate and Crystal Palace's Marc Guéhi, even though they already have 5 centre-backs in their squad currently. This shows that while they are planning for the future, they are also aware of the need to maintain depth and quality in defense, balancing present and future needs. Rüdiger and David Alaba both have contracts running until 2026. Until now, Real Madrid have shown little willingness to extend either deal. However, according to Real Madrid Confidential, the club could offer Rüdiger a 1-year extension, keeping him at the club until June 2027. This would give the team flexibility to manage their defensive lineup while waiting for potential targets like William Saliba, whose contract would end in the same year. Alaba's situation, on the other hand, appears to be final. Reports suggest that his story at the club is unlikely to change, meaning no contract extension is expected for the Austrian defender. It is clear that Real Madrid want to remain competitive while also preparing for the future. Extending Rüdiger's contract is a decision that would ensure they have experienced players available, without rushing into permanent changes in the squad. While Real Madrid would continue to pursue new signings, the club also values the contributions of players like Rüdiger, making sure the team stays strong across all competitions. According to a report from AS, Real Madrid are keeping a close eye on Stuttgart midfielder Angelo Stiller as part of their long-term transfer planning. The German midfielder has become one of the standout names in the Bundesliga and is already attracting attention from several of Europe's top clubs. Stuttgart midfielder Angelo Stiller, currently priced at around €45 million on Transfermarkt, is under contract until 2028, which makes him an expensive target. Any club hoping to land him would likely need to pay more than €50 million. For Real Madrid, who still haven't reinforced that position, the 23-year-old has become a serious option. A big reason behind Madrid's growing interest is Xabi Alonso. The coach is said to be pushing strongly for Stiller, as he sees him as the type of midfielder who can control games and bring balance to the squad. However, Stuttgart are in no rush to sell. They consider Stiller a key part of their project and will only think about letting him go if a huge offer comes in. Furthermore, it is not only Madrid who are keeping tabs on Stiller, as several Premier League clubs are monitoring the situation, with scouts regularly following his progress in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich, his former club, are also said to be watching developments closely, which could make any potential transfer battle even more competitive. Market value could rise further. If Stiller continues his strong form this season, his market value is likely to increase beyond the €50 million mark. That could complicate matters for Real Madrid, especially with financially powerful Premier League sides expected to enter the race. For now, Madrid remain attentive. With Alonso eager to strengthen his midfield options, Stiller is firmly on their radar. His performances this season could prove decisive in shaping whether Los Blancos move early to secure him or risk being caught in a bidding war next summer. With the future of Rodrygo uncertain, Real Madrid are already considering his successor and looking to the transfer market, reportedly with a PSG player in their sights. During the last summer transfer window, Rodrygo was heavily linked with a move away from Madrid. Several top European clubs were reportedly interested, including Liverpool. However, none of these clubs made a serious move, and the Brazilian winger decided to remain with the Merengues for at least a few more months. Rodrygo linked with Manchester City. Barely had the summer window ended when new rumors emerged regarding Rodrygo. According to Caught Offside, Pep Guardiola is reportedly a big admirer of the Brazilian winger. Should a major move occur this winter, Manchester City could make a move. Real Madrid are said to be valuing the 24-year-old at €80 million, £70 million. This situation has prompted Real Madrid to plan for Rodrygo's potential departure and begin searching for a replacement. According to Fishages, the Spanish giants are considering PSG's Bradley Barcola as the Brazilian successor. PSG keen to extend Bradley Barcola. Young and talented, the French winger fits the profile Real Madrid are seeking for Rodrygo's replacement. However, convincing the European champions will not be easy. PSG are reportedly preparing to negotiate a contract extension with the player, potentially until 2030, under manager Luis Enrique. In addition to PSG's clear desire to retain Barcola, the winger himself, who was highly sought after this summer, is said to want to continue his development in Paris, despite Real Madrid's interest. Fischages reports that Madrid will continue to monitor the young Parisian and could act if an opportunity arises in the coming months. Aurelien Tchouaméni is one of the few players who can claim to be a regular starter in Xabi Alonso's setup, which the manager has otherwise made clear will not have much discretion between starters and substitutes. Being the only pivot in the squad is thus a luxury for the Frenchman, as it all but guarantees his place in the side. Concurrently, however, it also adds monumental pressure on his shoulders, for he has little margin for error. So far, the Frenchman has adapted wonderfully to life under Xabi Alonso and has looked good not only in midfield but also as a third central defender in the coach's tactics. He continues to be important for his country and recently had a new stadium open in his hometown Artigas-Pres-Bordeaux named after him. Tchouaméni's own. Speaking to the media on the eve of the opening of a stadium named after him in his hometown of Artigas-Pres-Bordeaux, the Real Madrid star spoke on a plethora of topics, including the managerial situation at his club. He began by speaking on how special the stadium in question was for him and equated it to another special stadium in his career. "It's the stadium of my beginnings, it's my Santiago Bernabéu." Amongst other topics, Tchouaméni was also asked about how he looked forward to the upcoming FIFA World Cup, especially with him missing the penalty in the final against Argentina and thus carrying bitter memories. "I don't take it as a revenge, and no one in France. Every World Cup has its history. The whole group dreamed of lifting the trophy, but it couldn't be. You have to look forward." Thoughts on Xabi Alonso. Finally, the midfielder addressed the elephant in the room, Real Madrid's situation after the arrival of Xabi Alonso and how he has adapted to the new coach and his ideas. "I'm happy with him. It's true that I'm doing well with the coach and that he has new ideas for me and the team. But I think that since the beginning of 2025, things have gone much better, and with Carlo, I was already fine," he began, not forgetting the former manager. "The idea now is to focus on each game and help my colleagues and continue to grow." Tchouaméni, however, refused to make any direct comparisons between Ancelotti and Alonso when asked to do so, saying, "There are differences between Carlo and Xabi. It's normal, each one has his own idea and style, but they are two great coaches." According to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, Paris Saint-Germain had Real Madrid star Rodrygo on their radar this summer. The French giants were considering a move for the Brazilian if Bradley Barcola had left the club. Barcola himself was being monitored by Liverpool as a backup option in case they failed to land Alexander Isak. When the potential transfer fell through, PSG's interest in Rodrygo never turned into an official offer. This meant the 24-year-old forward situation at Real Madrid remained the same. Although he had been linked with a summer exit, Rodrygo ultimately stayed with the club. Inside PSG, his name was discussed as a possible signing, with the French side seeing him as a potential addition, but no concrete move happened. Rodrygo made his intentions clear. Despite all the rumors, he was never eager to leave Madrid. Reports confirmed that the winger wanted to stay and prove himself under new coach Xabi Alonso. To settle the matter, he had a direct meeting with the club's management, confirming that his future would remain at the Santiago Bernabéu. The outcome worked in Rodrygo's favor. Instead of being pushed out or forced into a new challenge, he secured his place in the squad. A new challenge under Alonso. One of the most significant changes for Rodrygo this season is his position in the team. Under Carlo Ancelotti, the winger was rarely considered for the left side of attack, which was Vinicius Jr.'s territory. But with Alonso taking over, the Brazilian now has the opportunity to directly compete with his compatriot for the left wing spot. This development has given Rodrygo a new motivation. Instead of looking for opportunities abroad, he has stayed loyal to Real Madrid and is ready to fight for a bigger role in the squad. So there you have it, Madrid fans. Rudiger could be staying longer, Stiller might be the next big midfield target, and Rodrygo's future continues to generate headlines. One thing is clear. Florentino Perez and Xabi Alonso are already building for both the present and the future of Real Madrid. What do you think? Should Madrid extend Rudiger's contract? And is Bradley Barcola the right replacement if Rodrygo leaves? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for all the latest Real Madrid news. Hala Madrid.